All right, it is 10:20 p.m. right now. I'm gonna warm up to like a heavyish single tonight, and that'll be pretty much my workout. The hamstrings are sore, the glutes are a little sore, the lower back is right up there with the hamstrings. It's pretty sore. I can feel my hamstrings. I can feel the DOMs just during like walking around, and any degree of leaning over, I can feel a little bit of tension back there. So they're sore. My IT bands are very, very tender as well, which I guess most of the time I don't really try to do any sort of massaging on them, but I did some stretching for 20 or 30 minutes today. Hopped on the foam roller, and trying to roll out the IT bands is almost impossible for me. Very, very tender. I think they've been like that for a long time now, which probably isn't good. But they always hurt so bad that it's kind of hard to massage them out. Anyways, let me kind of get into my schedule for tomorrow. So I know today is supposed to be a big squat day. However, I'm waking up at 4 in the morning. Me and my dad have a breakfast at our church to go to in the morning at 8 a.m. And it's going to start pouring down rain around lunch tomorrow, and just be pouring down rain all afternoon. So I'm going to wake up at 4 and try to get in a 6 to 8 mile run down before the rain and before the breakfast. So that's one reason the workout's going to be kind of cut smaller tonight, is because I've got a big run planned first thing in the morning, and there's not really any need to go run in the rain if I can get around it. So there's that. I just came out of a pretty good Bible study. I'll post a picture of my notes. Feel free to pause it and kind of read through them. I think I'm like a hands-on learner, somewhat visual, but as far as audio goes, I don't like pick up on things very well. Like I've tried to listen to podcasts and things, and I just kind of tune it out within a couple of minutes. My mind wanders really, really bad whenever I sit down and try to listen to something. So especially like at my job, I'm an apprentice electrician. The fastest way for me to learn something is to probably read on it, get some sort of background information, and maybe like watch somebody else do it. And then I have to get my hands in there as well. I can't just listen to somebody tell me what to do. It really helps if I can see somebody do it first, or if I have like some sort of background knowledge on it through reading. That's the best way for me to retain it. So I can go through and I can read my Bible. I'm going through Psalms right now. And I'm in like chapter 54 today. And then I decided to work backwards and sort of write down all the instructions and guidelines that sort of stood out to me. So the numbers going down the sides are the different chapters. I think over the next couple of days, couple of weeks, I'm probably going to work all the way back to chapter 1. That way I have all the instructions and all like the guidelines of Psalms all together in one place, and it's going to be very easy to refer to. Then I'll probably finish out with reading through Psalms after that. But I've writing them down, like a lot of my notebook is just rewriting verses, but I feel like I'm getting a bit more hands-on experience with that. It's kind of hard to get, hands-on with words printed on a page. So if I can sort of rewrite them, I feel like it helps me retain it a little bit better. Ooh. Yeah, the erectors are really feeling the deadlifts, I'll tell you that. There's Bible study for tonight. I think Psalms is probably going to keep me busy for another 2 or 3 weeks. Just depends on how much time I have to get into my Bible. Life's going good right now. I'm feeling very, I don't know how to put all this stuff into words. The more time I spend in my Bible and the more time I spend actually diving into it, trying to study and write these things out, my quality of life like instantly increases. And so I'm feeling like very involved right now. And there's a certain like sense of hope I get from those words and from those verses. And you know, being 19 years old, I'm trying to build myself as a man. I've got, you know, certain qualities that I want to hold for myself, that I want to reach, certain standards I hold myself to, just different values, and I always want to improve. And, you know, how can you improve if you don't have some sort of foundation to build on? So I'm just trying to pull my foundation together and just take the next step. I don't know. I just got this image for myself that I want to be one day. I sort of hold myself, my future self, to the extremes of great. I want to be very well read in the Bible. I want to be very studied. I want to be very knowledgeable, and not just about the Bible. I want to be very knowledgeable in many areas of life. I want to read more books in my free time. It's just that I don't have a lot of free time to read right now. So whatever time I do have, I'm trying to devote that to scripture. But you talk to preachers and you talk to preachers and stuff, man, and some of these guys, and especially our preacher, they can just spit out verses, I mean, left and right. I don't know how many of you guys have held a Bible, but that's a big book, to just throw out 15, 20 verses within 30, 45 minutes. I mean, just like that. It's very, very impressive, and it reflects a lot of time spent studying, and I admire that. So one day I want myself to be able to do that, but it's also like in the trade that I'm in. One day I want to be very knowledgeable about electricity and how it works and like what to do in different situations and all this stuff. I want to be of very high moral character. I want to have strong character. I just want to be a solid person all around. Like I said, I have very, very high, not like goals. I'm looking for a deeper word than goals. I don't know. There's just so many different things that I aspire to be and that I want to reach one day. And I'm not going to get there if I don't use today to take a step. You can't look at something in the future and be like, one day I want to be here, and then never take the next step. Because if you always look at it as, you know, I'll get there by the end of the year, or I can do that tomorrow, so and so, you keep pushing it off until one day you're going to be 26, 27, maybe 45, 50 years old, and you're going to look back and realize that you missed all of the opportunities that you had, because you never took the step. You always believed that you would get there, but you didn't partake in that belief, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to strip this plate off, warm up with the bar for a few minutes. I'm going to cut the video after this and just post the top single. But alright then, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So before the squat clip or whatever, I want to give you an example of being able to, spit off verses and just how it reflects the amount of time that you've spent in the Bible. So it was last summer. We were on a mission trip, and our youth group was staying at a church by ourselves, and every afternoon after the work day is passed and after supper, our youth group would get together, and several kids, like 1 or 2 kids per night, would get up and give a little devotion. One night, a group of kids was given a devotion, and they were like, I don't remember which verse it was, and they started to say it, and our preacher was like, that was Matthew 28, yeah, just like that. And then it sort of turned into a thing where we were like, okay, do you know this verse? And we would just literally say a random book of the Bible, a random chapter, and a random verse, like nothing obvious, like John 3:16. I'm sure most everybody has heard that. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. That's a pretty common verse. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It was nothing like that. Like, it could have been Philippians 4:1, or just Philippians 7, chapter 7, verse 8. And we hit him with 7 or 8 verses like that. Just right off the bat, and every time. Without hesitation. And then one of them, my youth leader was like, all right, give us Job chapter, whatever chapter number it was, and such verse. And the preacher started laughing. He was like, Job doesn't have that many chapters. And that's very, very impressive to remember, like, how many chapters each book of the Bible has. I don't know how many books are in the Bible, but I'd say it's over somewhere between 20 and 30, maybe. I guess I'll look it up and throw that on this clip. But that sort of reflection of the time investment and studying, you can't deny that. So anyways, I'm gonna get into the workout, and then I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So thank you for watching.